Good morning and welcome back to Sunday Storytime, where we are going to read part 5 of The Path of Blood from the Legend of the Five Rings role playing game, First Edition. There are no secrets, there is no understanding. Void is all and nothing. It is the dance of the elements. The Tao of Shinsei. Path of Blood, Part 5. When they knelt before Ataka, all three of them were given plates of steaming rice. Ginawa's was empty first. He leaned back, patted his stomach, and took another cup of sake as Hijiko and Tadaka quietly watched. After all three of them had finished, Ataka dismissed his council. He waited for them to slide the door shut. Then he waited a moment longer. Finally, he placed his hand on his knee and turned to Hijiko. "So what of our cousins to the south?" Hijiko bowed slowly, then spoke in a soft voice. "Ataka-sama, on the road, we met with the magistrates of the Bayushi Shoju. They traveled with us to the site of the battle. When we arrived, Ginawa interrupted. The scorpion assassins put an arrow through the crane commander's neck. "You will be silent, Yoriki!" Hijiko's shout seemed to make the room's wood panels shudder. She turned to Ataka, her voice still booming. "Ataka-sama, you sent this man along with me. I have never questioned your judgment before, but I must tell you he is nothing but an unwashed, undisciplined oaf." Ginawa shrugged. "Would you waste good water on an oaf, Ataka-sama?" Hijiko stood, letting her hands fall to the katana in her obi. "I have had enough." "Hijiko!" The samurai ko fell to her knees at the sound of her master's voice. "Forgive me, Ataka-sama. Forgive my outburst. I forgot my place." Ataka said nothing to her. He turned to Ginawa. "You say scorpion assassins killed the crane general?" Ginawa nodded. "Hai." Ataka scratched his beard. "Curious. Very curious." He faced Tadaka. "Tell me, Shugenja, did you see what occurred?" Tadaka bowed low. "I did, Ataka-sama. I did not see who shot the arrow, but I can tell you that it was guided by a Shugenja proficient in the art of air magic." Ataka nodded. "Thank you, Shugenja." He bowed his head for a moment, then looked at each of them. "Hijiko, I have considered your complaint against Ginawa and—" He stopped. His eyes grew wide and his jaw dropped. Hijiko leaned forward. "Ataka-sama?" Ginawa leapt to his feet, his wakizashi free from its saya in his hands. Tadaka didn't know what to do. Hijiko asked again, her voice hinting at her panic. "Ataka-sama, what is wrong?" Ginawa ran forward to the daimyo just as blood began to drip from his lips. Hijiko's scream rang in Ginawa's ears as he grabbed Ataka and pulled him close. He saw the shuriken, and his teeth bit deep into his lip. His voice spoke low and guttural like a growl. "Ninja," he said. Hijiko was next to him as he looked up. There was no time. Another breath would bring another shuriken. "Ginawa, what is wrong with him? Tell me." She was looking at her daimyo, her eyes filled with tears. He looked at the Shugenja. "Tadaka, where is my sword?" Tadaka said nothing. His eyes glazed over with fear. "Where is my sword?" The Shugenja pointed to the corner. "There, wrapped in cloth." Ginawa's feet slipped on the padded floors. "Protect him," he called to Hijiko. He knew the samurai maiden would do what he said. The Shugenja was useless. His hands fell on the wrapped sword, and with a single touch, the binds broke and the cloth slid away from the weapon as if whipped by winds. His hands jerked back, but then he heard Hijiko screaming from behind him. He looked and saw a shuriken in her arm, and another hit the floor at her feet. "Ginawa, where are they? I can't see them. Help me!" He turned back to the Uchiban blade. "I need you," he whispered. "Damn you, I need you." His hand was on the saya before he could say anything else, and he heard the steel sing as it tasted the night air. "Wow," says one of the four figures sitting at the table. The girl picks up her dice. "I want to make an honor roll." The game master smiles. "Want to try and break through the ninja's fear magic?" "The willpower roll failed me last turn, so yes, I want to make an honor roll." "Go ahead," nods the GM, "but you know if you fail, you'll drop an entire honor rank, right?" She nods. "Yep, no problem. What's the target number?" GM pauses for a moment. The TN is 20. Still certain?" The girl shakes her dice. "Not a problem. Hijiko's got a 3 honor, and I'm spending a void point." The dice fall on the table, and all four figures lean in to take a look. The girl re-rolls her 10 and smiles triumphantly. "Read 'em and weep. 25." All right, says the GM. You've broken the spell. You can take an action. Next turn. A sad moan from the girl, and the GM moves to Tadaka's player. How did you do? Tadaka's player shrugs. Got a 9. The GM grins a sadistic grin and turns to Ginawa's player. How about you? What are you doing this turn? I've got the blood sword, right? He says expectantly with a handful of dice. Yes, answers the GM. You feel its power coursing through you. You know what to do. Another roll of the dice, and the player smiles. Not a problem. This time, Ginawa's got full control. The GM turns to the players. All right, here's what's happening. Hijiko just broke out of the spell the ninja cast on all of you. When did the ninja get to be Shigenja? Mumbles Tadaka's player. The GM continues. Tadaka, on the other hand, is still under the sway of the ninja's magic. Ginawa has his blood sword and has full control over his actions. Unlike last time, says Hijiko's player with a grin. Ginawa's player keeps his eyes on the GM. Where's the ninja? You don't know. You'll have to make a perception roll. In fact, since the ninja is trying to remain hidden, it's going to be a contested roll. Ready to make the roll, buddy? The GM picks up a handful of dice, counts them out, drops out 2, and looks to see if Ginawa's player is ready. What's the target number? Asks Ginawa's player. 30, says the GM, and he flinches when the players hiss at him. Hey, he's a ninja. He's trained in this kind of stuff. Just roll the dice and get ready to be seen, says Ginawa's player. The dice roll, and everyone leans in. The cheer tells you who wins the roll. Ginawa shouts to Hijiko. Ginawa's player says, Hijiko, look, up there. Can I see? She asks the GM. Yes, the GM answers. Next turn. Now, everyone roll initiative. Everyone does. The GM reads the rolls and turns to Ginawa's player. What are you doing? The ninja's up high, right? Yes. I throw the sword at him. The silence of the table is deafening. The GM scratches his head. Okay, that's a pretty tough action. The target number to hit the ninja is already a 20. I'd say it would be a 35. Ginawa's player picks up the dice and smiles. I'll be spending a void point now. And there we have the end of The Path of Blood. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the final chapter. Please drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and we'll talk to you next time.